Alright, my name is Tristan Staley, and this is my final project for this class. And this project looks at the different aspects of the world and how they have shaped me into the man that I am today. I approach this project by looking at all the modules for each week and talking about each one, and then using examples from the self-portrait assignments that we did for each module. Alright. Module 1, using my sociological imagination. We use this, or we talked about this whenever we selected a college that we wanted to attend, and obviously I attend the college at Campbellsville University, and attending this college has allowed me to learn society's values, beliefs, and rules outside of my family, because obviously when you go to college, you move out and then you get to experience living on your own and away from your family. College decisions are shaped, limited, and enabled by our social location and cultural understanding of the world. Social factors that played a huge role in selecting Campbellsville for me was high school, social expectations, and then financial aid. In high school, I played basketball, and it led me to want to pursue it in college, and luckily Campbellsville gave me the opportunity to do so. With social expectations, I was able to talk to alumni who had went to Campbellsville, and listening to them to discuss about their experience at Campbellsville also was a big factor. And then financial aid, which is obviously a big factor for everybody. Obviously everyone wants to go to college where they don't have to pay money out of their pocket, and financial aid helps to do so. Okay, in Module 2, we were to interview someone who was from a different culture than us, and luckily I was able to interview somebody from Hong Kong and to see what their culture was like, and then to compare it to mine. And culture is a key to sociological perspective because it influences people's beliefs and behaviors, and our culture shapes our way of how we live our lives. And back to the second bullet, obviously in every culture, everybody's going to have different beliefs and perform different behaviors. And my cultural background has taught me to worship the beliefs of Christianity, to be a family man, to be a caregiver, and to understand the importance of getting a job and how it's almost impossible to live in today's society without one. And it was truly amazing to see how different someone else's culture from all the way across the country is to my culture. I can't imagine putting myself in that culture and living the way that they do. It's definitely different and very intriguing to learn about. All right, Module 3 talks about the agents of socialization. I'm pretty sure we did a PowerPoint presentation like this one. And this module allowed me to provide examples of each agent of socialization and how they have influenced my life. The following agents of socialization that we discussed is family, peer groups and friends, school, workplace, religion, government, and mass media. In my opinion, family and religion are, the most important influences in everybody's life, but I understand that some people may argue that. Module 4 talks about our status to structure. This module helped me to dig deeper into the concept of status and role, and then how those concepts connect me to different groups and social structure and social institutions. This module allowed us to look further into ascribe statuses, achieve status, and then different groups like primary and secondary groups. And then lastly, we looked at social institutions. And I've learned that I occupy the ascribed status of being a male. The ascribed status is something that you can't control. Obviously, your gender is determined at birth. And an example of an achieved status that I occupy is that I'm an athlete, and based on the skills and abilities that have been developed is what makes me an athlete. Primary groups that I belong to is my friends, and the secondary group that I belong to is the basketball team I'm on. The biggest social institutions that exert the most force on my daily life is family and religion, once again. And I'm sure many people could say that, and then without both, I wouldn't understand what my value is in society. All right, Module 5 talks about deviance and self-control. This module allowed me to look at the differential association theory to further analyze that our behavior is influenced by who we're around. I truly stand by that, and I can see whenever I'm with my friends, I can see that we perform some behaviors probably that we wouldn't do in our everyday lives, but when we're with our friends, we're influenced to do things that sometimes we don't want to do. And everyone has behaviors that are labeled as deviant. An example of a deviant behavior that I have is acting as the boy who cried wolf. This behavior really took place when I was younger, but I mean, now I don't do that anymore. But a lot of people took it seriously. I took it as a joke, but as I grew older, I mean, I realized the importance of needing to tell the truth and to go away from that deviant behavior. Power plays a big role in deviance. The higher you are in power, the more likely you're to perform a deviant behavior because it's easier to cover up. On the other hand, if you have little to no power, you're less likely to perform a deviant behavior, but more likely to be labeled as deviant. Module 6 talks about social mobility. Social mobility factors that connect to sociology are education, occupation, financial status, social movements, family, and religious affiliation. During this module, we were asked to watch 2 videos about social mobility in America and how it's determined. And in one of the videos, one of the guys, he provided an example of a heat map. And it said that Kentucky is in the red colors, which means that we have the lowest odds of making it to the top, which is unfortunate. But I think the highest was Iowa because a lot of them, as I grew older, they did not stay in Iowa. They ventured out into big cities and then were able to make a lot more money than they probably were going to in that particular state. But Kentucky is also a very rural location, and we don't have a lot of diversity. So, ethnic identity. Racism describes a system of racial inequality based on the belief that some groups are innately superior to other groups. Each of us is socialized into an understanding of race. I'm 25% Japanese and 75% American, but when people ask me what race I prefer to go by, obviously I choose American because I don't know how to speak any of the language, and I don't practice any of their traditions or anything involved with their culture. So I think it'd be disrespectful to say that I'm Japanese. Also, we need to be aware of racial differences in the world. This has been going on forever. I honestly didn't think it was this severe in this day and age, but It is, and sometimes when when you don't understand the differences of race, or when you make fun of somebody for being another race, it can truly hurt someone, and it can lead to a bunch of conflict. All right, lastly, Module 8 talks about traditional gender roles in media. This module allowed us to look for ways that media reinforces traditional gender roles. I think I talked about a Volkswagen commercial that showed a male gender doing adventurous activities and working and being an athlete, and then it cut to a female gender sitting in a park taking care of the kid. Um, in my opinion, I feel that gender roles are altered and changed today. I think an example of this is with TikTok. I feel like we're starting to see more stay-at-home dads, and then the wives are going out and making all the money, and working a 9 to 5 job every day while the dad is at home, being an influencer and creating videos for their source of income. And I feel that my gender role as a male is to be a leader, protector, and to be the breadwinner. I feel like this is really stereotyped today, especially obviously the male gender. We always see them as the one that does all the work and brings in all the money, and yeah. So this concludes my presentation. Racism describes a system of